Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video. We're going to have a look at weather for the next 10 to 14 days. For today's second video, day 10 will take us to the 12th of February. And we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. They run to around a couple of weeks. We're going to have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the video. For the next 4 weeks, that will get us more or less to the end of February now. And I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say about the first video today was Terry Scully's February forecast. So check out that. Terry's month-end forecast was the first big release date. No 6 AM forecast today. And I'll just explain what happened yesterday. So I was meant to be doing a live stream. Live stream I 10 to 14 there at 6 PM. But I've had a bad tooth this week. I've had an abscess. And it's on the side where I've had the cut to the neck, so it's all very numb at here, it's all very painful round here, and I've just been feeling a little bit rough over the past couple of days, and it seemed to reach its peak yesterday. So yesterday afternoon, I just had to say, you know, I can't do any more recording, and I just had to stop and have a rest, you know, through the afternoon, and that's what I did. So today, I am still in a bit of pain, but it's quite a lot better. So I think the antibiotics are beginning to get to work, and I'll have the tooth out next week. So sooner the better. If it's causing you pain, you have it out. As the Major said in Faulty Towers. So yeah, it'll be out next week, and that'll be the end of that little saga. But now I'm sort of scale things back a little bit. So I haven't done the European outlook today. That'll be back hopefully next Thursday, and it's going to be a case of watching it day by day, you know, to see how we go. I'd be surprised if I'm live streaming tomorrow night. You know, for Friday night live stream, I will try and get a channel member stream done tomorrow, though. But we'll see how things go. You know, if it, you know, clears up, then everything will be fine. So that's what happened anyway. And 6 AM forecast should be back tomorrow morning as well. If you could like, share, subscribe on the videos. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. And I hope you're having a lovely, lovely Thursday. Right, going to start off with the stratosphere then. So, the black line shows where we've been and where we are with temperatures at 10 HP in the North Pole versus the grey line, which of course is the trend, is average for the time of year. So we have had a minor stratospheric warming at 10 HPA over the North Pole. The black line reached around minus 30. It's now ticking back down a little bit, but still way above average, still way above the grey line. So temperatures remain warmer than normal at 10 HPA in the North Pole. Go a bit low down to 30 HPA there. Cooling has taken place, so we did get a warming there too. Went up to around minus 47, something like that. We are now back close to average, so quite a plunge in the temperature. Back down close to minus 17 at 30 HPA in the stratosphere over the North Pole. Latest 2 GFS forecast for the temperature at 10 HPA look like this. So the minor warming continues over Siberia and continues to push into the North Pole to some degree. Over the next few days, that one will fade out, and the displacement event of the polar vortex, these blue colours here, will continue in the stratosphere running up to around the 10th of February. Beyond that, we head on in towards the middle of February, and the GFS is picking up on another very significant warming of the stratosphere, this time more towards Scandinavia, quite interestingly. And again, sort of a displacement event of the polar vortex, but this time displaced more towards Canada and parts of Greenland as well. So that's the GFS midnight run. This is the GFS 6Z run. Again, the displacement event goes on over the next week or so. The warming fades out over Siberia and then starts to gather pace again. And as we run into towards the second half of February, a very significant warming of the stratosphere taking place once again. Does that reach sudden stratospheric warming? Maybe, maybe not. At that point, the polar vortex is still not split. It's displaced this time over towards the North Atlantic and Canada and southern Greenland. If we could go on another couple of days, maybe we will find a split of the PV taking place there and a reversal of zonal winds. This is the latest zonal wind forecast from weatheriscool.com. Then you can see that some of the GFS ensemble members are once again going for a weakening of zone winds. We were here a few weeks ago, we're back again. Some of the GFS ensemble members going for a weakening, or they're all going for a weakening of zone winds, some going for a reversal of zone winds into the middle second half of February. So it remains to be seen where this is going to go. We're going to keep an eye on stratospheric developments as we go through the next few weeks. If you do get an SSW in the second half of February, that will more likely impact weather into March and April. So this has more chance of impacting things for spring rather than winter. Could we have a cold and delayed spring this year? We shall see. Central temperature for January ended up at 5.2. It's updated yesterday, but because I wasn't doing a video or live streaming, I wasn't able to bring you this yesterday. But we finished up with CT at 5.2, which is 1.4 degrees above 61 to 90 average. So at the moment, the winter is about average. We had December that was about a degree, 1.2 degrees colder than average. We have January that is around 1.5 degrees above average. So our anomaly to average is very, very close to normal as of the final day of January. Now for February, we're standing at 7.4, very mild, 3.6 degrees above average. That's provisional to the first day of February. So it's all to play for, really. February's going to decide where this winter goes, I think. If February comes out very mild, then it will be a milder than average winter. Not excessively so, but it will be a bit milder than average. If February comes out colder than average, then it'll be a little bit colder than average winter. And if February comes out near normal, then it will be like an average winter. February is going to be the deciding month. This time with January and December offsetting one another. Overall, I think the GavsWeatherVids, I don't know what you think in the comments, but I think the GavsWeatherVids winter forecast is playing out pretty well. I'm very happy with the way that the winter forecast has gone. And we did make that slight adjustment, towards average temperatures in the middle of January for the winter overall. So I think the winter forecast is going well, but you have to let me know what you think in the comments. Right, GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles, the next couple of which look like this. So the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London, starting off around to a little bit above average with the upper air temperatures over the next few days. And then a drop in the upper air temperatures with some very cold looking ensemble members there as we go into next week, before a bit of a recovery in the upper air temperatures towards the middle part of February. You'll notice that the green line, which is the 30-year upper air, no, it isn't the green line, it's the GFS operational run, is cold right the way into the second half of February. That is the midnight GFS operational suite. Now compare that to the 6th there. Where did the cold spell go? So again, the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London, starting off mild and average at the moment. Where does that cold spell go next week? It's eradicated pretty much by the GFS 6N, except for these ensemble members down here. There's a few of them still going for cold weather, but basically the GFS ensembles have backed off the idea of a cold spell next week, and going milder, or becoming even milder into the second half of February as well. Precipitation-wise, it was very dry over the next week, 10 days, maybe a little bit more unsettled into the second half of February. GFS performing absolutely abominably, terribly awful at the moment, and it does make me wonder. I don't know about you, but I think the GFA upgrade. Come on, they upgrade the GFS every year. I think the GFS gets worse with each successive upgrade. So I don't know what they've done to the model, but it's been performing really bad all winter since it had its upgrade at the beginning of December. But this last few days takes a biscuit. I'm kind of pleased that I didn't do a video or live stream yesterday, because there would have been a lot of excitement about the really cold Beasterly charts that the GFS are churning out yesterday, and so it saves a disappointment on the channel. But I was keeping an eye on what the GFS was doing yesterday, and compared to what's happened today, you know, it's just a terrible model at the moment. I don't know what Noah are doing, but they need to get their act together. Right, so that's Gav on his soapbox. Now let's move on to the temperature anomalies. Temperature anomalies from the 2nd to the 10th of February. A little bit mild average in the north, a little bit cold average in the south. Bear in mind this is based on the midnight GFS run, so expect these to trend milder than average over the next couple of days, I think. Precipitation anomalies from the 2nd 10th of February, drier than normal. Latest wind map from Earth and nullschool.net shows that we're drawing in a mild west-southwesterly today. And as we go through to the UK Met Euro, we can see that high pressure ridges up from the southwest on Sunday, bringing lots of dry and mild weather over the weekend. Into next week, it's a real high pressure fest, high pressure dominating away from Scotland, where it's a little bit more unsettled. There could be frost and fog with this high pressure for England and Wales, but Scotland and Northern Ireland like to be relatively mild with those winds in from the west and from the southwest. Icon looks like that again, high pressure ridging in from the southwest on Sunday. Bring lots of dry weather for the early part of next week, possibly with frost and fog in the south, milder with shower rain up in the north. And then as we head on up towards the middle of next week, high pressure dominates the weather, but you'll notice that high pressure is nowhere near Scandinavia, nowhere near bringing us an easterly, and so on. They're just generally dry and probably chilly for the south with frost and fog, milder further north. Now, that GFS midnight run. Keep in mind, this is almost certainly not going to verify. So we start off on Sunday, high pressure ridging in across the country, bring lots of dry weather. And then by Tuesday, that high pressure is already getting towards Scandinavia. Winds are going into the east then. And he's pulling cold air from the east through the middle part of next week. With most of Northern Europe looking really quite calm. Second half next week again, the easterlies, Arimbus got my 10 cells iceberg into that far southeastern corner of the easterly last throughout the course of next week. Eventually high pressure begins to rise towards Greenland and Iceland as well. Look at that with the upper air temperatures. Bitterly cold air is in across the south and the east. That will bring snow showers into southern and southeastern parts of the country. Even colder across France. That's beast from the east type cold. Sitting over France, not all that far away from us. Then high pressure building out to our north. We pull the wind into a northerly. Well, look what happens as we get towards the middle of February. We remain cold with northern blocking around Greenland and Iceland. And then low pressure starts running underneath, starts dragging some very cold air from Scandinavia. And this will, of course, as it bumps into that very cold air, will bring copious amounts of snow. By the time we get through the 16th of February, prolonged cold spell, with bitterly cold air sitting over not just us, but the whole of Northern Europe as well, engulfed in a big freeze, and on it goes. But then now compare this or that to the GFS 6Z. So again, the high pressure reaching in from the west on Sunday, bring lots of dry weather. High pressure tries to get to Scandinavia for the early part of next week. It does bring some sort of half-hearted easterly in around the middle of the week, but nowhere near the easterly that like the midnight run had. And then, well, look at that. By the time you get through towards day 10, we're under a ridge of high pressure. So there could be frost and fog with that. Don't get me wrong, there might be some frost and fog, but it is not anything like the GFS midnight and previous GFS operation runs were showing. Upper air temperatures looking relatively mild. Of course, it could be colder on the surface due to frost and fog, but it's not cold. You know, that very cold air is across the far north and extreme east of Europe. And then beyond that, we're actually going to relatively mild sort of southerly southwesterlies. I might just try and sort of get the heights going over Scandinavia, but it's a very, 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 very different GFS 6Z compared to Midnight Run. So what have NOAA done? What have they done to this model? Answers on a postcard. Right, if you enjoyed the video, then please you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. And why not drop a comment? Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. GM, looking like this. High pressure again, ridging up from the southwest on Sunday. And then high pressure sort of sits across England and Wales, maybe bringing frost and fog through the middle, first to middle half next week, milder, wetter and windier further north. Heading up towards day 10, just relatively mild with winds up from the southwest. Absolutely no sign of anything cold there, really, other than a bit of frost and fog. And then ECM looks like that again. High pressure originally in from the southwest through the early part of next week, bringing a lot of dry weather. That high pressure could bring frost and fog to the south in particular. The north would be milder with winds from the south and from the southwest. By day 10, low pressure trying to come in from off the Atlantic, bring some wetter weather. Might be trying to raise some higher pressure towards Scandinavia, but really it's relatively mild at that point. Have a look at the upper air temperatures. That's how they look. So, not really much sign of anything cold doing, is there? Based on precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from meteo.com. The emphasis is on dry weather, of course, over the next few days. High pressure won't truly in control. Maybe some rain struggling to get in from off the Atlantic by day 10. Now, these are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today from the Icelandic metals. They are back. They returned yesterday. So here we go. We have got, this gets us to the 12th of February. We have got 20 members of the ECM ensembles that have high pressure sitting over and slightly to the east of the country. That'll be mostly dry weather. Winds coming in from a southeasterly direction, so there could be frost and fog. 19 members of the ECM ensembles have high pressure to our south and east. Low pressures away to the north and west. The winds are coming up from a southwesterly direction with that. Though that's only a bit more unsettled and is pretty mild. And then we've got 12, including the operational run, with lower pressure coming in from off the Atlantic as high pressure tries to get going up towards Scandinavia. Then 2 weeks time, these are the options that we've got. This gets us to the 17th of February. 32 members of the ECM ensembles there looking very unsettled with low pressure in from off the Atlantic, bringing wet and windy and probably mild weather. And then 19 members of the ECM ensembles keep the high pressure going, centred around Denmark. So mostly dry and probably still quite chilly, especially at night with a risk of frost and fog. CFS V2 looks like this. It's a 500 millibar high tolerance breakdown in 2 week periods. The first week period takes from the 2nd to the 8th of February. The coming week is dominated by high pressure, so lots of dry weather to come. Week 2 will be the 9th to the 15th of February. High pressure just to our east, low pressure way to the northwest. Lots of dry weather then. Could be some frost and fog mixed in with that, of course, especially in the south. Week 3 looks very mild. It's a 16th to 22nd of February. Low pressure around Greenland, Iceland. High pressure to our south. Winds in from a mild westerly direction. And then week 4, which is the 23rd to the 21st February to 1st of March, begins to take that high pressure out to our west. And it will probably start to drop colder air in from the north. It's about the beginnings of a cold March, maybe even into April, via an SSW. I wonder. We shall see. Time will tell. If you enjoyed the video, please can you like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. Drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. We thank you so very much everybody for doing that. We need to put on around 35 subscribers now, that's all, to get ourselves to 15.5k. So if you could give us a sub and tell friends and family to subscribe, that would be absolutely great. Right, so just to tell you what's coming up tomorrow, we will have a 6 AM upload. It should be back tomorrow. We'll have Jeremy Friday, hopefully, and a 10 to 14 day. I doubt I'll be doing a Friday night live stream tomorrow, but we'll see about that. So just keep checking back to the channel for more. Thank you so much just for sticking with it, you know, while there's always chopping and changing going on, while I've got this tooth issue. Hopefully things will be, you know, getting back to normal over the next couple of days. Right, enjoy the rest of your Thursday afternoon. For this one, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.